We'll move right into item number 11, which is the annual report of the Community Preparedness Committee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mayor Ruane and council members. My name is Dina Gunning. I'm the chair of the Community Preparedness Committee. And it's with pleasure tonight that we deliver our annual report for the Community Preparedness Committee. We were there. There we go. Thank you. Our mission statement: the San Bruno Community Preparedness Committee promotes emergency preparedness, planning, and education to prepare residents to mitigate the potential consequences of natural and human-made disasters. This year's members: myself, George Paponis, Vice Chair, who's recovering from another knee surgery, so he couldn't be here this evening. Stephen Johnson wasn't feeling too well. Ron Lapidus, who is behind me here, and Mike Ward, also, that is here this evening. And Irene O'Connell, thank you, who is our liaison to the committee this year. We're with pleasure and also saddened that it's Chief Haig's last meeting this evening. He's been a great support to us as a committee. We want to thank him, and also Chief Telford for his support. Jim Allen is our fire marshal and fire liaison. Gary Carson, who has been our secretary for the minutes from fire. Tim Mahan, who's our new staff liaison for police, and Dennis Bosch was our staff liaison for public works. Our ex officio members this evening, we all know our friend and colleague Brian Mulver from OES, Walt Long, who is our liaison for the San Bruno Amateur Radio Volunteers, and we are still waiting to have the school district representative spot filled. Our accomplishments for 2011: we established the CERT program, the Community Emergency Response Team Training Program, and we have more information on that particular pilot program that we launched last year. We conducted also our first CERT drill at Shelter Creek, which was a huge success. Participation with our San Bruno Amateur Radio Volunteers, collaboration with the Crime Prevention Committee. We staffed information booths at the city and county events, our annual San Mateo County Preparedness Day. We also did Sears Preparedness Day this last year at Tanforan, and the Chamber of Commerce Business Expo at Tanforan. We provided emergency preparedness messages for San Bruno Cable TV in English and in Spanish this year, so we're proud of that accomplishment. This was our first CERT training at the fire station. It was appropriate. We had some hazardous conditions there for the moment. And part of the CERT training, we offer disaster awareness and preparedness, basic disaster skills, disaster medical course, light search and rescue, disaster psychology and terrorism, team communications, organization and management, and then we have the skills development and application, which is the hands-on exercise, which is the final component of the program itself. And currently, I'm bouncing back and forth because we do have a CERT session going on as we speak, and tonight's session is on disaster psychology and terrorism, so I'll be bouncing back down there after, which we've been hosting at the Recovery Center. This is from the tabletop exercise of the last year's graduation class, and going over the incident command system. These are photos of the light search and rescue on the hands-on exercise at the fire station. So the participants really were involved in the hands-on of performing light search and rescue. The fire suppression, where everybody has the opportunity to go in and actually suppress a fire and learn exactly what to do and how to do it, always using the buddy system, so they go in pairs. And this was our first graduating class. We had 45 participants in the pilot program at Shelter Creek last year. All of our committee members, as well as the residents from Shelter Creek. And it was a very good class. It was, they participated well, they enjoyed it, and it was a real success for the first program that we'd done. Oops. This was a picture of the first drill. Let's see, that might be one of the videos that we did at Shelter Creek on October 15th. So they actually, on top of doing the hands-on exercise as part of the CERT program itself, did an on-site drill at Shelter Creek where we utilized stations, and everybody got to practice all of the stations from the different sessions of the CERT training. So there we have some of the participants at the first aid station. Let's see what's going on. We also had the police department come out and do a security demonstration. So it's their plan to use the basketball court in case they have some security issues to detain people. So they went over that. Light search and rescue as well. And then they actually made it a challenge. So there were teams, and the winning team who made it back to the completion circle first all received a disaster pack. We also did a lot of work this last year with Community Preparedness Committee in support of the San Bruno Amateur Radio Volunteers. Several of us that sit on the committee are also amateur radio operators. We convened our meetings at the San Bruno Resource and Recovery Center. We increased the member attendance at the meetings, and we also collaborated with the Millbrae Radio Club. We developed club bylaws, and we have returned our meetings now back to the Emergency Operations Center, where each month we meet and actually test out the equipment and are working on updating the guidelines and operational procedures for the equipment in the EOC. We also participated in Silver Dragon County exercise in testing out our equipment and our communications with County Office of Emergency Services. And we're, as I said, updating the operational guidelines and instructions. These are the members that are part of the Amateur Radio Volunteers Club as well. Myself, Ron Lapidus, Mike Ward, Jim Allen is our fire liaison, and what I would consider an expert in amateur radio communications and equipment. He knows his stuff. And Walt Long, who is our radio club liaison, who really has kept the club going in the last couple of years over our transition. We also participated in Preparedness Day at the county fairgrounds, which many of you may or may not know has now been moved to June and is on the first day of the San Mateo County Fair, which actually has worked out quite well. I think the attendance is good and gives people an opportunity to park for free and actually attend the fair for free. So that's a nice incentive. We distributed preparedness literature. We registered San Bruno residents for the community emergency response training, and we displayed the CERT training videos from our pilot program. And Ron Lapidus also did a radio transmission demonstration for our amateur radio club. Our goals for 2012, to continue to promote CERT and community preparedness at city and county events. This year's San Mateo County Preparedness Day is Saturday, June 9th from 11 to 2. So we look forward to that. We are also in the works of planning our own San Bruno Preparedness Day that we would like to have here at the Senior Center, so much along what the county does at the county level, but for ourselves and locally here. We're also pretty pleased about the move for the farmers market to Tanforan, and we're looking forward to maybe setting up a booth in late August or so before we start the next fall CERT training to promote CERT. We continue to do CERT outreach to neighborhood watch groups, and we do have some participants in this last CERT session from neighborhood watch groups. And then we also would like to make the recommendation to City Council to promote the use of SMC Alert. And I have a few more slides on that for our recommendation to you. Update community preparedness on city website. We've done quite a bit of this on updating our posting of the committee minutes and agendas, but also wanting to look at updating the content itself and looking at creating a CERT page on the website as well. And exploring the use of social media to conduct community outreach to residents pertaining to preparedness. We've got so much at our fingertips these days that we really want to take a look at how we can best utilize our social media. And just wanted to ask, how many of the council is signed up on SMC Alert? Someone in your house is. Again, we want to make the recommendations that you go on smcalert.info and register so that you can get all the emergency alerts. And then, again, we want to propose to the council for us as a city to utilize this resource. And the committee would like to look at the following topics to actually address for utilizing SMC Alert messages for basic emergency information, weather alerts, road closures, neighborhood watch alerts, burglary alerts, preparedness emails, and information and distribution. There's been several occasions where we've had road closures in the city, and I know I would appreciate it if I had that information ahead of time, because then you can use a different route. One being, I think the most recent was the top of San Bruno Avenue at Skyline for the repaving. So for those of us that go that route, we had to turn around and come back down. I think another was in the last couple years where we had the slide at Crystal Springs Road, when that road was closed for, I believe, 2 or 3 days. So again, it's good information to get out to the community so that we know how to go around those things. And I imagine with the Caltrain's upgrade project as well, that's another good opportunity to utilize that for that kind of information. And there are a few cities that are really using it well in emails, in crime prevention tips, and other avenues for getting information out when it comes to even events such as Clean Sweep and different things that you can get that information out to folks. Currently, there's over 2,500 registered subscribers in San Bruno. So that's a lot already. What we would like to do, of course, is if we utilize it more, then we can do the marketing and campaigning to get more folks signed up. And there's over 25,000 subscribers countywide. And if you had any questions about that, we have Brian here, who is our expert on SMC Alert, who can answer any questions. And then just a couple events that are coming up. Again, Disaster Preparedness Day, Saturday, June 9th. And of course, we always are there and have a booth. We'll actually have Community Preparedness Committee as well as a CERT table this year. And then the Great California Shakeout is October 18th, 10:18 at 10:18 a.m. Just a reminder that you can go on their website, shakeout.org, and register and participate in the Great California Shakeout, which is the drop, cover, and hold drill statewide. And actually, there's quite a few other states now that are participating. And there's a wealth of information on that website that you can utilize. And questions?
Any questions of Dina? Jen?
Yes. First, congratulations. What a long list of accomplishments, especially CERT. As far as CERT, 8 weeks, 10 weeks?
It's 8 weeks. It's 7 sessions, including the hands-on exercise. It's about 22 hours total participation.
Is there any chance that it won't be on a Tuesday?
We would be willing to schedule a non-Tuesday if council wishes to participate, yes.
Ooh, that's a big commitment.
You can do it.
Yes, I know. I'd love to do it. Yeah.
We'd actually like to invite you. We have the exercise coming up on June 2nd at Fire Station 51. If you would like to come and observe, we're more than welcome to have you.
So I'd like to invite you to, if you wanted to have a booth at the Posey Parade with the other community committees also. But also, I think it's important that we do pursue the school district involvement, because the kids need to know, and the schools need to know what to do in an event. So I would encourage that to be one of the priorities as the next year comes along. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation and the committee's continued commitment and your passion that you have for this. I also want to thank you for spearheading, as well as the committee, the CERT program. I believe it would not have had its first graduation in May of 2012 without you and the committee's backing, support, and staff's working collaboratively so that to bring that to San Bruno and to continue it on. I was able to stop by for a moment on the graduation day and was very impressed with their enthusiasm and participation and the commitment as you expressed the days and the hours. And I think that if we can get those things out and the other things that you've mentioned here with all that you do, there will be a better town for it. So thank you.
Anyone else? Irene?
Mr. Ibarra and I were just commenting earlier how far this committee has come. I don't know, what, 10, 15 years ago, we attended a couple of meetings from the prior group, and they had wanted to disband because they couldn't think of what needed to be done. And we encouraged them not to do that because there was obviously a lot that needed to be done. And it's so wonderful to see you all of you, and your commitment to this. And I know the citizens of San Bruno will appreciate what you're doing, and hopefully from this and other advertisements get more involved as this goes on. So thank you so very much.
Michael?
We do have the fall session scheduled already as well for CERT, and that'll be starting at the end of September.
It certainly is exciting to see this program growing. I remember when I used to sit as a liaison from the crime committee in the meetings, and we were trying to get those things started. It was a struggle at first, so it really is, it's nice to see it pay off. I was wondering about the SMC alert, if the city was interested in having local messages posted to that, what the mechanism would be, who we would we need a central coordinator for the city who would then feed the messages up to some other
Perfect
organization?
question, Michael. And actually, instead of listening to me, I'm going to turn that question over to Brian Mulver with County OAS, because he's probably the best person to answer that.
I just got an SMC alert on my pager as we speak. It's someone just wishing me to have a safe week.
Oh, you set that up. Come on.
No, I didn't. Here. It's no setup. SMC alert is free. Every city, some schools, some special districts, all are using it in the county. In San Mateo County, our employees are asked to sign up for SMC alert on in one category for employees or staff, so we can contact staff in an emergency and let them know when to report, where to report, and it's a great tool. It does take one coordinator to set it up for your city, and a good place to put the person with the message ability is perhaps dispatch or the police department, where the watch commander would be operating 24 hours a day. There are some best practices that come with this too. We don't send messages to cell phones and pagers after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. It's up to the city to decide when is appropriate. And we do email only after 9 p.m. Unless it's something urgent, that is a warning or an alert where people need to know what to do, how bad the danger is going to be. You have 25, I just checked the stats before I came today, and you're up to 2,538 subscribers countywide that would like information from San Bruno. And I wouldn't mind doing a test with you to demonstrate that sometime and get the feedback from the subscribers. And overall, we're down to 2,590 subscribers all over the county that are managed. The remainder there are at-large people, probably from Santa Clara County, San Francisco County, that want information from our system. But it does take one person to coordinate it. It would take a dispatch is a good place to put it, or with the watch commander for the ability 24/7 to do the messaging.
Okay, thank you. You had something else, Dina?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And again, congratulations, Chief Haig. We're going to miss you.
And Dina, as we always say here, there's a large portion of the city runs on volunteerism. People don't realize how many commissions, boards, and committees are out there that do tons of work that is just sort of in the background for a lot of it. You're in the forefront a lot of it because, of course, you have some classes that you can outreach to people, but a lot of this city runs on volunteerism, just like your committee. So please thank you again, and thank all the members.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.